Hello and hi fellow humans, Dumelang Bagolo. Welcome back to my channel, Afrika. To all of my returning subbies, thank you so much, superstars. Thank you to all 120 of you superstars. I'm so grateful. I appreciate your time, your effort. I hope Luciame, I hope Lujukhile. And as you can tell, the mood is better today. Do you know why? Because I know today I'm giving you guys some valuable juice, some sauce, some all of the cute stuff, because I know it's very important right now. I think we're in that season where everybody is literally preparing for the next year, 2023, thinking about what their vision is, what the plan is, seeking just some sort of clarity, I guess, from Papa God and figuring out what the next year has in store for us. So I figured before we even get to talking about our vision for 2023 and how we're going to implement it, because we're becoming better people over this side. So before I get into the crux, that's the word I was looking for. Ooh, Charles. Before I get into the crux of the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Road to 10k subbies, you know the vibe, the side. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Get comfortable, superstar. You are superstar this side. And we're trying to figure out, not just figure out, but actually implement an action towards us becoming who we're destined to be. And we can only do that by self-introspection, by having conversations that reflect not only to ourselves but our environment and how we can change what's in us so that our environment changes too, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what's happening over here this side. We're just about improving ourselves, because we know we can't change other people, we can't change the world by trying to change other people. We can only do that by changing ourselves. So we are here. Welcome. Afrika. Get acquainted with me. Our comment section is very friendly. It's very self-introspective. It's very us just trying to figure out and do the best that we can. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But by the title of today's video, you would have probably figured out this video is about how to show up for yourself. And this is in relation to the next year coming up. This is in relation to every year coming up. And this is not me telling you guys, how to show up for yourself, but this is me literally talking to me about what I'ma be doing to show up for me. So I hope you enjoy the video. But first things first, let's slow it down and do something like, let's breathe. We're gonna breathe? Let's breathe again. Okay. Hi guys. I hope you guys are doing good. So yeah, we're talking about how we're gonna show up for ourselves. And so I was having a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine. His name is Pilani. He's also my producer. And we were just talking about how we've gotten to this point in our lives, and we were kind of in the cycle of thinking we don't even know how we got here, but we do know that it's because of the things that we have allowed in our lives. We do know that it's because of our actions that we are at a space where we don't have anything to show for the amount of time we've been here on this earth, right? And this is pressure aside, but this is the part of the life. The part of life, pardon me, you're the part of the life. Guys, today I don't know what's going on. But anyway, little forgive me. But this is the part of life where we're taking accountability for things that we could have prevented, opportunities that we missed because we weren't prepared for, and just in general, how we are going to become better people for ourselves before we even try to do the most. But just, having a growth mindset and an abundance mindset for our own lives. Like, I kind of figured out this week that I am the type of person that will show up for everybody else except for me. Like, I find it very hard for me to show up for myself. And I figured that's the problem, right? If I'm able to put everybody else first before me, who's putting me before themselves? Pretty much no one. So this is like a conversation that I felt it was important to have, because I'm tired of not being the main character of my own life. And I figured let's share some tips of what I started implementing to show up for myself. And I believe really in the power of your mind and in the power of your own will. Obviously, on this channel, we love Papa God this side. We know that Papa God does amazing stuff, and we know that miracles happen every day, and there is a big space for miracles and the abundance and life happening to us, for us, by miracle purposes, right? I hope I'm making sense. But outside of that, there is a part of life where we need to take accountability and we need to be the reason why we're moving forward, right? So, in light of that, I was at my partner's house a few days ago, I think, and I found this book, The Secret, and I figured I should start reading it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Bob Proctor, you know the vibes this side, and and then Phil started talking to me, Pilani started talking to me about Dr. Joe Dispenza, and we were just talking about how really all of these things that we're facing can be overcome by the mindset that we have. Yes, this is obvious, but in practice, in the everyday, how are we showing up for ourselves to make sure that our mindsets are aligned with the things that we want for ourselves and that we're actually moving closer to where we are destined to be, right? So I came across this, and this is a quote by Genevieve Befriend or Behend. Sorry, I can't read this cursive. Letlang forgive, it's in the book and it's in cursive. And it says, "Nothing can prevent your picture from coming into concrete form except the same power which gave birth to it, yourself." So, what they're pretty much saying is that everything that we visualize, you can create the picture. You can see what you see for yourself, but the only thing that's stopping it from materializing is you. Now, I know it sounds obvious, but I think that goes to what I would call step one of showing up for yourself, realizing that you are the only being that needs to take action. I struggled with that a lot. I talk about weight a lot and the pressure I put myself under with my weight journey, but just in general, accountability to self is so important. So before we even start doing our vision boards, before we even start praying over our vision boards and dedicating our plans to Papa God, let's talk about what's going to make sure that those visions are implemented in our actions. How are we planning or intending on making sure that our vision and what we have for 2023 is actually moving forward? It's us. We need to be accountable to ourselves. And this is why on my channel, I really encourage that in the comment section, we engage. I love talking to you guys. Let's talk about how we plan on keeping each other accountable, because I find that leading to point number 2, outside of taking action, point number 2 is community, right? I really feel like it's important to have a community of people that are able to keep you accountable to the action and to the plan that you've created. It's one thing to manifest things into existence, right? But for that to happen, action, right? Aligned action, that is number 1. Aligned action, that's the important part. But more specifically, who are you telling your dreams and your visions to? Although I have mentioned that it's very important that you tell your visions or your dreams to people that you trust, because it's very sensitive, right? But there has to be community. There has to be somebody you do rely on and talk to, who can keep you accountable for the things that you want for yourself and for the things that you see for yourself, right? So that would be point number 2, community. Of how to show up for yourself, you need to find community. This will make it easier for you to be accountable to the things that you want for yourself, for your vision. I feel like over the past years, the problem is that I'm really good at making plans. Like me. I've said this a lot before, but my superstars know this side we can make plans. The problem now becomes the implementation of the plans. And I've found that a lot of the times, a lot of the things that I've wanted to manifest for me have never happened because I never really told my vision to anybody. So I was the only one, number 1, who was keeping myself accountable. And sometimes it's very hard to keep yourself accountable because you can give yourself excuses to why you are not doing what you said you were going to do today. Or why you'd rather, sleep in when it's not a day to sleep in, right? So it's just those types of things. Accountability becomes better and easier when you have community. And that leads me to point number 3. How are we showing up for ourselves? Number 1, grace. You know, a lot of people talk about, and like I said in the last video, check it out. If you love yourself, I will link it up here. I talk about how it's very, it's common to say, give yourself some grace, but what does practically loving yourself and giving yourself grace look like? This means that everything that you've written down, after we dedicate it to Papa God, and after you are putting in the aligned action, and after you do build your community, giving yourself grace for time, giving yourself the space for Papa God to do his thing. You're already putting in the aligned action. You are already building the community and keeping yourself accountable. But you must exercise grace on yourself and give Papa God the time and the space to implement those things for you in your life, right? And it's okay if it's not happening in the timeline in which you anticipate it to. And this is what I mean by exercising grace. It's not putting a forced timeline on something that you know will need time to be manifested, right? And I know that there are a lot of doctors and a lot of people that talk about how when you manifest, you give yourself a time frame. Yes, that's good for certain things, but I mean, like now things that are how do I put this? For example, like if you are building a business, right, which is currently what I'm in the middle of. If you are building a business, you need to give yourself time for your business to grow. Please don't mind the noise outside, sorry, because you know I live at home and my parents won't do is just so yeah. So it requires you giving yourself time for your business to grow, and it requires you giving yourself the grace to know that okay, my business might not be a multi-million-dollar business in the first 3 months, or it may, you know, leave room for that. But even if it isn't, don't let that be the reason why you stop yourself from growing. Don't let that be the reason why you stop yourself from improving your business. Exercise the grace over your life to know that there are things that require time. And yeah, that was point number 3. And going straight to point number 4. As we get into the new year, we have, I guess, a few weeks left of 2022. But I think the most important part of showing up for yourself is really just reflection. Self-introspection is important. Before we make all of these plans, before we do anything else, I think showing up for yourself is having check-ins. You know, it's important to check if we're not grind. Like, Oshapo, how are you getting through whatever you're going through, right? Because let's not act like life doesn't have circumstances. There are peaks, troughs, there are things that we go through on a daily basis, but we really need to come to the realization that irrespective of the things that we're going through, what's our mindset like? That requires self-introspection. That requires spending time with yourself. That requires spending time even in prayer with Papa God and finding out what it is that is in your heart that is not of him that needs to be removed, or what it is that is in your heart that is not aligned with his will for you. So it's just those types of conversations that are important, right? It's good to manifest. It's good to have plans, but what's the use of having plans and having all of those things happen if you're not in a good space in spirit and in mind? So self-checks and introspections. Maybe it's time for us to pick up more books. It's time for us to read more. It's time for us to learn more, right? In order for growth to happen, we need to allow space for all of these things, these new things. Like, for example, I love reading, right? But I'd be lying to you if I said I finish a book within 3 weeks sometimes. No, it's happened like once or twice. But it takes me a while for me to get through stuff. So maybe creating and setting new goals, like, okay, maybe I should finish this book in a certain time, read more books, get more information about what it is I'm trying to go into, get more information about what it is I want for myself, for my mental health. How am I going to deal with situations in my business or personally, that I make sure that it doesn't get me down, right? The whole point is movement. And I really do think that in this next year, this is me talking to myself, that is, like, please, preaching to the choir. But this is me talking to myself to say that in the next year, I really do intend on growing, I get this thing, but resistance, being able to perseverance, right? Being able to persevere even in times where you can feel, okay, the burden and the pressure is getting worse, but I got this and I'm gonna push through. Not letting the circumstances of life be the reason why you stop in your tracks. You know, it happens every now and again where, wow, it's overwhelming, but I really do feel like it's important for us to build that ability to persevere through situations. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I hope this helps in helping us show up for ourselves. This is self to self and I hope that it helps you. These are the things, pardon me, that I will be implementing in my own life to make sure that I show up for myself, not only in 2023 but now and forevermore, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen. That I show up for myself in the right way, and by doing so, making sure that I'm okay, reflecting on myself, building the community, making sure that each and every single thing that I visualize, I take action. Yeah, the power of visualization is very, very important. Your imagination is absolutely everything. Steve Harvey likes quoting that he likes quoting, I think it was Albert Einstein's quote, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Steve Harvey likes talking about how your imagination is a preview of coming attractions. So really do exercise the power of your imagination. See yourself wherever you want to see yourself. See yourself with that new business. See yourself, we're visualizing right now. See yourself in your new car. See yourself with your friendship group that you've aspired to. See yourself with that relationship that you want with Papa God. See yourself with a healed family. See yourself without sickness. See yourself with health. See yourself in an abundant state. See yourself as wealthy, because that's what you are. You are a ball of the highest energy source. Not even a ball, but you were created in the image of Papa God, which means that you yourself are able to create the world that you want. So use that power, use it. You are light. You are absolutely amazing. And I hope that this video helps. Thank you so much for watching. Afrika. For all of my superstars, join me again next week. I'm going to be back. We're back here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Road to 10K subbies. Read The Secret. Definitely read The Secret. This is the book I'm reading this week. So yeah, let's hope that I finish it this week so I can give you guys a proper review by the end of the week. But I hope, Luciame, and I hope that first things first, you find a deep sense of self-awareness, and that you find the true meaning of self-love in this season. I love you one by one. I hope you're well, and remember that each and every single thing that you want for your life is absolutely possible. I know that if you can see it, you can hold it in your hands. So join me on this journey as we literally manifest our dreams into reality, because we believe in the power that Papa God gave us to create and to dominate. And I will see you next week. Boom, 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 boom.